Good morning, Canberra, for Friday, February 1st. Well, happy Friday, happy February 1st. Hey, today we're going to do something a little lighthearted. I'm going to talk to you about different strokes. What you talking about, Willis? Hey, have you ever heard that expression? Some of you may wonder, where did it come from? Well, it came from a show called Different Strokes. It was a show that basically started in 1979, ran for, I believe, 8 or 9 years. It had quite a cast in it. And Gary Coleman, who some of you probably might have heard the name, was in it. There was Todd Bridges, Dana Plato, and Conrad Bain. They were the main characters. It was basically the story of a Park Avenue fellow, white fellow who adopted 2 black kids because his maid passed away and he inherited the kids. When I grew up, I used to watch that show, and I didn't remember it as vividly. I sort of had recollections of it, and I remember laughing watching it here and there. And I happened to be in a Future Shop about a month ago, and I saw season 1 and season 2 and just had to grab it. Now, for those of you who don't know, I don't have cable. I haven't had cable for, probably about 19 years now. Does that mean that I'm Amish and I make my own clothes? No. I don't have a wagon, don't have a horse, none of that stuff. It's just that my wife started schooling way back when we first got married, and we thought, you know what, TV is a distraction, and we just got rid of it at that time. Not that we didn't watch movies, we rent movies, we do that. We've got kids, we got a 12 and a 9-year-old. I lived through Barney, Teletubbies, man. Hey, I lived through all that stuff. So no, I've seen all of that. But what I find is that television today is like a black hole. It just sucks everything in. And most of it is just garbage. There isn't really very good quality family television anymore. And so that was the impulse for me to grab this. And I wasn't sure if my kids would like it. I mean, like I said, they're 12 and 9. They've grown up in a totally different era than I grew up in. And I brought it home, put it in, and they loved it. My little guy, he laughed all the time. He thought it was hilarious. And you know, when we sat down as a family and started watching some of these stories, they were really good. I mean, you know, you had a good moral lesson. It was clean. You could sit together as a family. The dad wasn't a doofus. The mom wasn't messed up. The kids were normal. It was a good show. And if you get a chance and you've got kids, grab it. I mean, they're like $9 for a season. I mean, you can't go wrong. You're going to spend 3 times as much on a pizza. And we've watched a lot of them. I'm surprised. My kids want to watch it over and over. They enjoy it in spite of all the other distractions. I mean, the Nintendos and the Wiis and everything else. They still seem to get a kick out of watching the show. And again, like I said, the moral lessons are great. The stories are great. The characters are great. And I didn't know it, but I guess prior to this, Gary Coleman had never done any acting, and apparently he was a natural. Unfortunately, it was very tragic how 2 of these cast members have met. Dana Plato unfortunately killed herself. I mean, Gary Coleman died. I mean, didn't have, unfortunately, a great life after this, this show. And Todd Bridges certainly had his fair share of challenges. Conrad Bain passed away just about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, in his 90s. So, and apparently he was just like the character on TV, Mr. Drummond, a great guy. It's sad and ironic that a show about a family and kids having fun, that the kids outside of it would have so many issues afterwards. But I suppose that's the pressure of all this stuff. Anyways, it's a great show. If you get a chance, it's the old Roger and Ebert where they did the thumbs up. I'd give it a big thumbs up. If you get a chance, you see it in the video store, grab it. Or if there's a YouTube episode you catch, sit down, watch it. I mean, you'll find it is a really refreshing show, and it was quite cutting edge for that time. I mean, like I said, you think about it. You've got a white gentleman living on Park Avenue with 2 black kids, and I mean, all those different racial issues were brought up subtly and they were discussed, and like I said, a really good show. That's my video review. That's my show review. Friday, I thought, hey, we talk about mortgages all the time. Let's talk about something fun, something a little more refreshing. And in the immortal words of Arnold Jackson, what you talking about, Willis?